And so, Cells at Work comes to an end with this episode. Sadly, there was no Season 2 announcement, there was no Cells at Work Black anime announcement, so this could potentially be the finale for the anime. And even if we never do get a Season 2 or even an anime adaptation of Cells at Work Black, I am very satisfied with this series. Like, after watching this episode and just really sitting down and thinking about the journey from episode 1 to right now this episode, it's been a blast. It's definitely something I didn't expect to entertain me as much. I know David Productions that did work on Cells at Work. They're a fantastic studio, and, I love them for, what they did with JoJo. And I know that they put a lot of passion and love into the stuff they work on. I'm never gonna say that they don't. But I was just still so surprised of how well done Cells at Work was. I just didn't think I would really get into this series as much as I have while starting the series. It was very unique. It's a very unique setting, very different. And, I remember really enjoying it when I started, and I loved it and got even more in love with it as the series began and continued on. And I'm just like, man, it's already over. It felt like it was just a flash. It was just there and now it's gone. And now I'm reviewing the final episode of the series, and I'm just like, man, I'm gonna miss this. I know many probably might not as enjoyed this series as much as I have, but I really have looked forward to watching this every single week. Being able to see, Red Blood Cell Chan, being able to see White Blood Cell, seeing, information about the human body and how, a mangaka would actually depict how the human body would be in, anime moe blob form. It's a very unique experience. It's something that actually has taught me a lot. It's pretty crazy, honestly. It's been very entertaining, but it also taught me. And, it goes back to my main point I've said in my earlier season reviews of, Cells at Work, is that I believe that this honestly reaches a perfect balance, a perfect blend of what I like and like teaching. I think when you're teaching someone, you should also be able to be entertaining, something that keeps someone interested to want to learn or know more. And I feel like Cells at Work is a really good educational series. Even though there is flaws it has, I think it's a really good educational series. And it's definitely something I want to remember, just think about, man, if I want to know a little bit more about how the human body works, maybe I could just watch the series. Or, if I really want to know extra, I could go out of my way and, read the manga, go read Cells at Work or Cells at Work Black. It's just something that, just surprises me with how it reached a perfect blend like that, and how intelligent the writer has to be able to blend themes like this in such a way to make it so fascinating to where it can make it engaging for the readers or watchers of a series. But okay, so talking about the final episode concludes in pretty much how many of us probably expected it to end. I highly doubted, the human body, the host body, was going to die. There was a potential possibility maybe that Red Blood Cell Chan, White Blood Cell might have died, but overall I didn't think that, the human body, the body was going to die in this episode. And if it did, if all the cells did die and the human body still lived on, it kind of would have been a message towards of how our real bodies are. Because, in this series, in Cells at Work, the cells that we see in this human body, they still keep living on for long periods of time, and it's the same, cell over and over. However, in our bodies, in real life, your cells die pretty quickly, and they're replaced by new ones. And so, if all the cells did die, our main characters died and they were replaced, it'd be symbolic for how the body is constantly changing and new cells are born that come about. I think that would have been really cool, but it might have been a little bit dark for a conclusion, especially for an anime, so maybe that's the reason why they didn't do it. However, though, I do like how this episode, it just really goes to show how something so badly can happen so quickly. Because, just a little brief head trauma, nicking your head, on a table or whatever, falling down, could cause a life-threatening injury to where you might even die. And it's crazy when you see the body situation in this episode. That's what our body actually does do. Our body freaks out and it really can't do anything. It's very different from a cold. You know how when we get an allergic reaction or we get a cold, our body freaks out, it burns us up, or coughing, sneezing, runny nose, all that. When that stuff happens, it's our body trying to get rid of the virus or bacteria in its own way. And it's overreacting, but it's doing a good thing. However, when you saw the body overreacting in this episode, it truly had negative repercussions. It was hurting, the person, the host body. It wasn't really the cell's fault at all. It's not their fault. It's the same analogy to what happened earlier on in the series, to where when they overreacted to pollen and stuff like that just happens. It's not the body's fault. It's just doing its job. It's doing what it's actually supposed to do. If it wasn't doing that, then obviously you would have a major problem. But to get back on topic, though, pretty much the point is that I like how, in this episode, the body would have died if it wasn't for man-made intervention. See, the body can only do so much. The body is an incredible structure. It's something, honestly, we take for granted a lot. I know I take for granted my body structure and what my little cells inside of me do for me. I think many of us can agree we probably don't think too much about it at all. We don't really think about the red blood cells coursing through our veins, circulating blood to make sure there's oxygen to all our cells, to our organs, to our skin, everything. Just, making it to where we can function as a person. We kind of take for granted, like, what our stomach or what our brain does, or, just different things that our body does. Sometimes we probably do take for granted. And I like how this shows that our body is just a very great structure, but sometimes it does need a helping hand. It can't do everything. And I think that this was a perfect arc to really show how modern medicine and treatment has really helped the survivability of the human race and just the body in general. Because with, medical advancement, to be able to, let's say, transfer blood back and forth like we saw in this episode, a blood transfusion, it really saves a lot of people's lives. Because think about this, if the body was left to its own devices and it got no help at all from no medical at all from outside sources, the body would have died, because it can't create blood that quickly to be able to survive something like that. So there's always a perfect balance in this series. I think that's what this episode really want to show, or at least this arc. It want to show a balance between modern-day medicine and medical procedures, or blood transfusions, and how the human body also works and handles different situations. And I thought it was really cool. It's just a perfect blend showing how the body never gives up. It tries to survive as long as it can, but there is some times to where it just can't go. It can't keep moving. It needs, outside help, which should be man-made intervention. So that's what this episode tried to do, and that's what I really appreciate about Cells at Work. It has these themes to where you can really think about how it would be in real life, how you would react, or how the body would react. It's something that I've known or come to appreciate while watching Cells at Work. But yeah, with the final episode, everything pretty much ends okay. Nobody really important, let's just be real here, nobody important. It was fodder, red blood cells, but nobody really important died in this series. And on top of that, it was just a good ending to really just show how the human body also can get back on its feet very quickly after something devastating. Like, for instance, if you have, a big wound on your arm, something very devastating, and once you get the treatment, your body goes back to normal function. Everything just keeps going like it normally does. And that's also what was being shown at the end there, is that even though there was a man-made intervention with, blood transfusion and all that, and things were looking very bleak, things also get back to normal very quickly, just as quickly as how it goes really bad, because of just how the body just gets back into its normal routine. But yeah, gonna miss it. Gonna miss Cells at Work. It's definitely been a fun ride, and I'm gonna miss talking about this every single week. I've had a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys that's been watching my videos of Cells at Work have been enjoying my videos too. I see many of you are telling me to read Cells at Work Black because it's really enjoyable. It has a really darker experience to it, and who knows, I probably will start it. I probably will get to check it out because, I do like me some dark themes and stuff, and I'd like to see a darker outlook on the human body because, let's be real here, a lot of us, like I said already in this video, take for granted how our body is, and so I feel like Cells at Work will really show how most people really just abuse their body to the point to where it's really bad on the cells inside, what they have to deal with. But that's pretty much about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you enjoy my content, please hit the bell icon down below. And for some reason, even if, you hit the subscribe button, you don't always get notified. So that's the reason why you need to hit the bell icon, because YouTube works in a way now to where the subscribe button doesn't notify you when a video is uploaded. So you have to hit the bell icon. And this goes for any YouTuber, not just me, but any YouTuber. So if there's other YouTubers out there that you really care about and you want to get notified for their content when they do upload a new video, then also hit the bell icon for them as well. But anyways, I love you guys. Be safe. Chibi out.